Hello students, I am Aniket Kirsch and we are in the series of class 9 computer application. We are in unit 3 office tools and this is part 6 of that. In part 5 we have already started what is spreadsheet and we have seen what is a spreadsheet software, what all softwares comes under it, how to start a spreadsheet, how to save files in a spreadsheet, how we maintain records in a spreadsheet, how we do calculations in it, and then how to insert new cells or new records or new fields. We have seen many features of it, right? Now today also we will see some more features of this spreadsheet software. So let's start. This is part 6. So what is the objective of today? We will learn self-referencing. What is self-referencing? When we apply formulas, functions, we use content from different cells, right? So how we will reference to that cells? How we will access the content from that cells? That is the way we call it self-referencing, right? Then printing a worksheet after completion of any record or something. We want to take the printout of it, right? So how we will take it, that we will see. Function in OpenOffice Calc. Functions, what are functions? Like formulas we apply, that is the function, right? That we made predefined formulas are known as the functions. Okay, then we will see structure, how that functions are written. We will see the structure of it. Then arguments, we have to pass the values if we want to, if any we will apply any functions to do any operation. We have to pass some arguments, some values. That is the argument. Charts in mathematics, we have seen bar chart, bar graph, or pie chart, and all these things. So that is mathematics. We represent the data in such forms so that it can easily be analyzed. In the same way here also, if we are maintaining some data in Excel, this spreadsheet software, we can represent it or analyze it using the charts. Okay. Now, what are the different types of chart? How to create such charts? We will see all these things today. And then what is the outcome? What you will come to know about after this lecture? You will know what is self-referencing, how to do the self-referencing, then function and its type, how to apply the functions, what are its uses, charts, what are the various charts, what are the components of charts, right? How it is presented. All these things we will see today. And we will come to know all these things, right? So what is self-referencing? When a cell address is referred to in a formula, its writing style determines how that cell will be referenced during the calculation, right? When we write any formula, we will access the values from the different cells. That is the self-referencing. So there are 3 self-referencing styles in a worksheet: relative, absolute, and mixed. Let me show you. First of all, let's see what is relative referencing. When you create a formula, reference to a cell or the range of cell, we are what? Usually based on the positions relative to cell. Getting? When you create a formula, references to a cell or ranges are usually based on the positions relative to the cell. I will show you practically, right? When you copy or move the formula to other cell, the cell reference automatically gets changed. For example, if the formula in A3 cell is A1 plus A2, and when you copy the formula from A3 to B3, Calc automatically changes the reference to match the location of this cell. Okay, let me show you. See, in the first figure, as you know how to know the cell address, that formula equal to sum B3 colon B7, where it is written in the B9. The address of that cell is B9. In which column it is? In the B. The column number is B, column letter is B, and row number is 9. So B9 is the address of that cell. Okay. Now in that cell we have written some formula equal to sum B3 colon B7 means range. From B3 to B7, it will add all these numbers, right? B3, what is the value? In B3 address, what is the value? 67, right? 67 is written in B3. You can see column letter is B and row number is 3, B3. So B3 to B7 means from 67 to 54. This is the range. So equal to this we have written. Okay. So after writing this function, we press and give mentioning the range, we will press enter key. What will come? 322. Okay. Now we have applied one function. So we have applied some function. We have mentioned range, and when we press enter key, we will get answer 322. Now next is, suppose I will copy this 322, right? I will copy this 322. How I will copy? In the top we have copy option, right? In the standard toolbar we have copy option. From there we can copy. Okay, we will click on copy option and paste in this cell. But here we will get 367. 322 will not be copied, right? Here we are getting 367 because formula is copied. Formula has been copied, right? But formula is also copied in such a way, the cell is referencing in such a way that it added the range from C3 to C7. In that case, what was it? How it was adding from the cell? The range was mentioned B3 to B7. But in case of this, when we pasted the addition formula function cell, we copied the formula from this cell to this cell. From that is from B9 to C9. What is happening? This is formula has been copied, and two, the cell is referencing the parallel cells. Means in place of B3 to B7 range, it will take C3 to C7 range. And similarly, if we will copy it in somewhere else, it will reference to its parallel cells, right? The range will change. The formula will be copied and the range will change, right? And it will reference to the parallel cells. Understood? This is the, when in document, when we were working on word processing software, when we copy and paste, what happens whenever we copy and paste something, it is copied, the value is copied, the document, the particular portion which we copy, select, it will be copied. But here, whenever in a normal way, when you copy and paste something, the formula is copied, and in a way that is, it will reference the cell, and this referencing is known as the cell referencing. The cell referencing, you are adding something, means this is the Aradhya's number, right? It is added, its addition is below here. Then when we'll copy this formula into some other cell parallelly to it, it will reference to the numbers of Domesh. And again, after this, some name is written and some numbers are written. We can copy the formula and we will get the names of addition of all different cells, which is referencing. This is known as the relative referencing. Understood? Okay. Now, next, absolute referencing. Then what is absolute referencing? From the term relative and absolute, from the name itself, you can think something about it. When we do not want to change the address of the cell on copying the formula, we have just seen when we copy some cell to some other cell, then what happens? It takes the relative referencing, right? But if you don't want to change the address of the cell on copying the formula to another cell, it will automatically take the relative one. But you don't want it. You want exactly the same cell to be what? You want to access the data from the same cell, exactly the same cell. You don't want to access the data from the relative cell. So what you will have to do? You have to use absolute referencing. To make absolute reference of a formula, add $sign before the column and row number. Whatever column or row you don't want to change, what you have to do, you have to put $sign before it. Suppose, for example, here you can see equal to $A, $1. $A, $1 means what? A1, it will take the A1 data. Whatever data is there in the A1 cell, A1 is what? It is this address of the cell. So it will take the values from that cell only. It will not take the relative reference, right? It will not take the relative reference. So in this way, let me show you the example of this also. Suppose here in the incentive amount, here in a D5 column, sorry, cell, in D5 cell, you can see this operation is there, one formula is written. B5 into $E $1. $E $1 matlab even, right? Even. Where's even? What is written there in the even? 10% is written in the even. So B5 into 10%. It will take 10% in this also. And when you will take, suppose this formula I have written and I will press the enter key. Now next time onwards, when I will copy this formula to somewhere else, that will also take E1 only, right? E1 cell only. It will not change. For wherever I will copy this formula, it will take E1 cell only because E and 1 both are fixed. So it will take from that, the value from that cell only. It will not take, relative, it will not do the relative referencing and take the values from the relative cell. It will take the absolute value from that particular cell before which dollar is written. Understood? So that's why we write dollar to make the cell absolute. Now the like this, when I will drag it in this 200, 1500, right? In this C here, after writing the formula, when I pressed, I got 100. Why I got 100? Because it is taking 10%. Here also, when I will copy the formula below in below cells, here also what it is doing, here see, here B5 is there, next B6 will be there, B7 will be there, it will change, but even will not change. Even what is there in the even? 10%. So for all the values it will take 10%. So in after 100 we have 200. Why 200? Because in B6 we have 2000 and 10% of 2000 is 200. Again after that 200, 1500 is there. 15, why 1500? Because after B6 it will take B7. B7 is what? 15,000 and 10% of 15,000 is 1500. Why it is again and again taking 10%? Because from the even cell, because it is the absolute referencing, right? And the B5, B6, all these are changing because it is relative referencing. Understood? Now mixed referencing. What is mixed referencing? It is the combination of relative and absolute reference. In this type of reference, either row or column has to be remain fixed, right? For example, see $A1. So here before the column letter, we have put dollar symbol so that it will be fixed. Here column is fixed, row is not fixed, and plus in the next, A is A is relative and $2 means 2 means tooth row will be what? Absolute. Understood? See the example, you will understand in a better way. See in this, here I have written one formula. Here we have item, price, quantity and value. So in this box I will write one formula B3 into C$3. B3 means it's a relative reference. Okay, B3 is simply we have written means after B3 it will change B4 for the next cell, B5 for the next cell. Okay? And C$3 means what? C$3 it is what? It is a mixed referencing. C is what? C is relative and 3 is absolute. So it is mixed referencing. So in the next, what is happening? When we will copy this, it will not change. $3 will not change. Okay, third row means it is fixed. In the Cth column, third row will be fixed. And on the basis of this, the operation will be performed. If a formula in D3 gets copied on D4, then the copied formula would be B4. Means after B3, D4 will come, and after C$3, C$3 will be there. Right? Understood? Now next. So what is the difference between these three? The difference is about the dollar. In case of what? Relative references, no dollar was there in the, we directly write the cell address. We copy the, formula directly, and it will not take the relative referencing. If you do not put $sign before column letter and roll number, then it is relative referencing, relative cell address. If you put $sign before both the parts, like we are writing $A, $3, means in a A3 cell we have made it absolute. So that is the, we are what? Dollar will be there before both column number, column letter and row number. Okay, so if you put dollar sign before both parts, column letter and row number, the cell address becomes absolute. However, if you put dollar sign before one part, either it can be a column letter or before row number, this would be mixed referencing, right? You have fixed the either the column or the row, and the next will be relative. So you will have to put dollar symbol in front of any one of it, right? So wherein a part of cell is relative and other is absolute. Understood? This is cell referencing. In the three ways we can reference the cell, that is the relative, absolute, and the mixed one. Okay. Now next, printer worksheet. After completion of the document, you want to take the printout of that document or worksheet, whatever. So what you will do in the same way, in the case of document, when you create on a word processing software, what do? You go to file tab, and from there you go to the print view option or print option, and from there you can set the printer number of copies and everything, and then you take the printout. In the same way here also, you have to first go to the print file menu, and in file menu you will see the print preview option, or print option. Suppose if you want to see how it will look after printout, so you have to click on print preview. You can check whether it is looking as per your requirement or not. And after fixing it, after creating it, you can click on print option. One dialog box will open. There you can set number of pages, number of copies, and how you want to take the printout. Suppose 2-3 printers are connected to your system, then you can choose the printer from there and all these things, and then you can take the printout. Right, like this. After clicking on file menu, you will see the print option. This page preview option is just above that. That page preview and print preview, both options are same. To check how it will look after printout, you have to click on page preview option. Understood? And then you click on that print option, you will see the dialog box like this. And in this dialog box, you can choose the printer. Right here the Microsoft XPS document writer is written. There's number of printers will be shown. Suppose 2 printers are connected to your system, then these 2 printers will be shown there. You have to select the printer, number of copies you have to select. Like this, all things you have to choose as per your requirement, the different options, and then you can click on the print option below, print button below. You'll have the printout. Okay. Now next, the most important topic, functions in OpenOffice Calc. Functions. What are functions? Formulas and functions. A function is a predefined formula. Right? Formula is what? A plus B plus 1 plus 5 plus 7 plus, this is the formula, right? For the addition. But if you want to take the, you want to apply a predefined formula, one function is there, some function is there. It will add all these values. Both are doing the same thing. But predefined formula is called a function that perform calculation using specific values in a particular order. In a particular order, we have seen, we can give range of the cells. That is the particular order, and the function will do the operation. It includes many common functions like sum, average, count, maximum value, minimum value for a range of cell. Range of cell you understood. I am expecting you understood what is range of cell. Continuous cell, right? Continuous cell or range of a cell. From there, in this continuous cell, suppose some numbers have been written, and I want to find out the maximum number of these numbers. Then I can find out using some function. Minimum value I can find out. I can count the number of values. I can count the I can calculate the average. I can count the sum. All these facilities are available, right? So next, the structure. When you will write a function, what is the structure of that? So whenever you write any function, you have to first formula of function. You have to always write equal to first. After equal to, write the name of the function. Suppose it is a sum function. Write sum, and then parenthesis will open. This bracket is known as the parenthesis. After inside the parenthesis, you have to write the arguments separated by commas. All these arguments will be passed. You are passing the values, and that will be added, right? Or in place of this, you can mention the range, like that A2 colon A5, that is the range. Like that also you can mention. Or instead of that, if you directly want to write the values, then by writing comma and comma, separating using comma as a separator, you can mention the different values. So this is considered as a argument. Understood what is the structure, what is argument, how to write the function structure, equal to name, function name, and then inside the parenthesis how to pass the arguments. Understood? Now next, arguments are what? Arguments are the values passed to the function. It can be number, text, logical values as true or false, or ranges or cell references. Right? It can be anything. Anything can be passed inside the function. Now let's see what all functions are there. First, the most common function is the sum function, which is usually used. Right? This function adds all the numbers in a range of cell. Suppose I showed you if any student marks list is we will create, then row wise different students are there, right? The record of different students are there, their maths marks, their science marks. So what we will do, we will add all these values. So we will mention the range from this range to this end, and in the next column, in the next line, we can have the add, right? Addition, we can apply the sum function. The syntax of this function is sum, and in the bracket B4 to F4, this is the range, right? Where B4 to F4 is the range. See, in this example, you can see students marks, math, science, SST, and all these marks. And in the last, I want the total of it, right? So I will apply one function equal to sum B4 to F4. So Anisha's marks, right? We want to add the Anisha's marks. So here Anisha's first marks, that is in mathematics, is what is the address of that cell? B4. So we will mention that, and the last address is F4. So then we will mention that. Then we will press enter key and we will get the values. Okay. In the same way, we will get the values like this 351. Okay. Now next, even we can copy this formula to the below cells, and it will take the relative reference of Bhumika, Chunika, Dharmendra, Pooja. Now, what is the average function? This function determines the average of the values included in the argument. Average in mathematics, we calculate average. That we can calculate using this function. So suppose in any class in maths exam, different marks has been scored by different students. So we can calculate the average marks of that class, right? It calculates the sum of cells and then divides that value by the number of cells in the argument. So how to calculate the average? We will add all the marks and divide it by number of students. Getting? So that is the way to calculate the average. Now the syntax of this function is as follows. Average, in the same way, in place of sum, we will write average, and in the bracket, in the parenthesis, we will mention the range of the cells. That is from B4 to B8. Okay, so see here, if I want to calculate the average of maths marks of these students, and initially some of these 5 students, I want to add the, calculate the average. So what is the normal way of calculating it? 56 plus 78 plus 56 plus 89 plus 65. We will add all these 5 subjects, 5 marks, and divided by 5. But this average function will directly calculate it. Equal to average we will write, and in the bracket we will mention the range of the cells. And we will get 68.8 is the average marks. Understood? Now count function. This function counts the number of cells. This function counts the number of cells with numerical data in the argument. Suppose in any cells number of data has been written in any particular column, different weights of the students has been mentioned, and I want to count how many weights has been written, right? 1, 2, 3. In numerical column we are talking about, right? So this function is known as this count function, and this is used for quickly counting items in a cell range. And what is the syntax for this? Count, and in parenthesis we will mention the range, right? Same pattern, sum equal to sum, then in parenthesis mention range, equal to count, in parenthesis mention the range. Like this we will sum, average, count. So for example, let's see this count function we applied. So in maths, how many students are there? We cannot apply it to the students, right? This is here numbers are written in the maths column. 56, 17. How many numbers has been written? 56, 76, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total that it will count. So the counting will be 9. So we can understand 9 marks has been written here. Means of 9 students it has mentioned, right? That we can calculate. Now max function. This function determines the highest cell value included in the argument. This function determines the highest cell value. Means suppose in mathematics marks, suppose 100 students are there, and who has secured maximum marks, right? That we can easily calculate by applying this maximum function. The syntax for it is a max, then in a bracket, in a parenthesis, you have to mention the range. So see this, in this example, Anisha, Bhumika, in science marks, I have applied max function. And in max function, what range I have given? C4 to C12. That is, C4 is the, science, this is about the column of science column, science field. So first marks is 76 and up to 87. So on overall this marks, which one is the best, which one is the maximum, that it will calculate between this range, right? So when I will write this equal to max, so as you can see, the maximum function when we will apply, so it will calculate the maximum value out of this. Okay, equal to max, then we will define the range, that is from C4 to C12 in this case, and it will calculate the maximum value. So after writing this function, when I will press enter key, see, 89 will come. So in science, from C4 to C12 address, what is the maximum marks? 89. 89 marks is of Dharmin. Understood? Now next, main function. Let's see what is main function. Main means minimum function. This function determines the lowest cell value included in the argument. In the same as that of the maximum, in this case, my minimum value will be found out. The syntax is same, equal to mean, in the bracket, in the parenthesis we will mention the range, and then let's see, take an example of the English. In English, the first marks of Anisha is, what is the cell address? E4, right? And what is the last marks? That is of Sunita. What is the value of that? 87, right? So we defined the range, that is from E4 to E12 in this main function. And when after writing this, when I will press enter key, what will happen? 46. See, 46 is the minimum marks in English, that is of Chunika, as you can see, right? So these are the all functions. Now one more function which is very important is the if function. It is a conditional function. The if function runs a logical test and returns one value for a true result and another for a false result. For example, see here a very good example we have. For example, to pass score above 40, if we will write the condition, right? So how we will write? Equal to if, then in the parenthesis we will write the condition first, right? If this condition is true, then show pass, otherwise show fail. Comma under we separated using the comma. Equal to if function, we will open the parenthesis. First we will write the condition and comma, then what should be displayed in first if it is true, and if this condition is false, then play this execute this. Means in case of a true, it will display pass, and if this condition is false, then it will display the message fail. Okay, more than one condition can be tested by nesting if function. Nesting means what? Nesting is the term which is used for inside another if condition, within if condition, if we will apply more than one if, more than one, and inside if condition we will apply one more if condition. After that we will apply more if condition. That is what nesting of the loops or conditional functions we will say, right? Now see the example of if function. Student name, maths, marks, and then pass or fail. So here in this cell we have written one function, if function. And if this 45 marks, what is the cell address of this 45 marks? B3, right? So we will write B3 is greater than 40. Here we have the marks, right? So if B3 is greater than 40, then pass. Then pass means, then it is true, then it will display pass, otherwise it will display fail. If condition is B3 is greater than 40, means if it is more than 40, it will show pass, and if it is less than 40, means condition is false, then it will fail, it will show fail. So after writing this function in this cell, if I will press enter key, then I will see it will display pass, because in that we had given the condition, right? See, if this condition is true, B3 is greater than 40, yes, it is greater than 40 because it is 45. So it will display what? Pass, right? And I will copy this formula to every cell. So see, second one is 31, so it is showing fail. Then pass, then 35, it is less than 40, so fail. Like this, if we will copy the formula of the first cell in other cells, then that if condition, if that is true, it will show pass. And if it is false statement, then it will show fail. So this is the way, right? Now next, charts in OpenOffice Calc. What are charts? Charts in mathematics we have seen bar graph, pie chart, right? Column, number of charts are there. So what is the purpose of studying these charts? We can easily represent the values. We can easily analyze the values, right? Suppose if in a tabular form, if I will show you the marks of performance of the students, right? In a table wise, if I will show you the performance of the students of class 9th, then what you'll say, you can understand, you can see, but it will take time, right? But if I will show you this performance of the students of class 9th using the line chart, then of different students, you can see the growth or the decrement or increment, whether they are performing good or whether they are performing bad. You can see the in the name here in the left side, in the y-axis there is a name, and or we can have a marks, and below we can have the name. So name or marks, using this we can show, using a line graph we can show the performance of the students, right? So it will be very easy, just within some seconds we will understand what is the performance. So it is a form of data representation, right? You will represent a data in such a manner so that the person whoever will see it will understand it in just few seconds. It will not take even within a few seconds you will understand. So charts are the pictorial representation of data from a worksheet, which is easy to read and understandable. Okay? It helps you to evaluate your worksheet data and analyze them conveniently. In a sentence, if you will write if you want to say something, you will show something, some record to somebody by writing in a paragraph, it will take more time. If you will show it using the tabular form, in a table form, it will take less time. And if you will show it using the this graphs and charts, then it will take less than that of that of table form also. Getting? So this is the advantage of presenting the data using these charts and graphs. So what are the components of a charts? Let's see. X-axis this is the horizontal axis known as category axis, right? Horizontal axis in a graph, XY line we have XY axis we have seen, right? Horizontal axis in a graph, two axes are there. One is x-axis and one is y-axis. In a x-axis we write the categories. That's why we call it category axis also. And y-axis, in that we use to put values. That's why it is called values axis also. This is the set data series. The data in a graph now, x and y, this axes are ready now. Now inside that we will put the data to show some kind of data. What is increment? Some we will put some values. We will put those values using the bar or line or such things are known as the data series. This is the set of values you want to plot in the chart. Okay. Now chart area. This is the total region surrounding the chart, the complete chart, the title, and what x-axis is representing, the title of that, everything, whatever is the part of that chart is known as the chart area, the complete area. And plot area, where inside x and y axis where the chart is plotted, is known as the chart area. This is the area of the chart in which your data is plotted. The plot area is bounded by axis in a 2D chart. Obviously, x and y axis, only two axes are there. So we are drawing a 2D diagram, right? We are representing the value using a 2D figure. Now, what is chart title? What is the whatever chart you are preparing? Is it related to mark list? Is it related to performance of the employees? Whatever, that is the title of the chart. This is the descriptive text aimed at helping users identifying the chart. This chart is about what it is interpreting. That we will write in the chart title. Legend. The legends help you identifying various plotted data series. Each series can be uniquely identified by assigning a unique color or pattern. Legend, in a graph, using the different colors, you are representing something different. So beside that, plotting the chart, beside that you will mention that color is for this purpose, that color is for maths marks, yellow is for science marks. Like this you will mention, and that representation is known as the legends. The legends help you identify various plotted data series. Each series can be uniquely identified by assigning a unique color or pattern. Grid lines. These are the horizontal and vertical lines in the plot area, where you plot the graph inside a x and y axis. So here we have grid lines, so that whatever line or bar you are showing, values you are showing, that grid lines show it exactly. It is more readable. What is the exact value of that? So grid lines are the horizontal and vertical lines, in the plot area. The grid lines are inserted in the chart to enhance its readability. Okay, so see components of a chart. So see what is the data series. Inside x and y axis, here we have the data areas. These bars or these columns are the data series, right? This is exactly in this, we call it column graph, right? And x-axis in a horizontal axis is the x-axis, right? That is also known as the category axis. See, categories are written. It's excellent, it's good, it's neither good nor bad. All these are what different categories. So x-axis is also known as the category axis. Y-axis 0, 50, 100. All these are the values. So y-axis are also known as the values. So, okay, values axis. Okay. Data labels in a before the above the column we have written data. So that is the data label. Then chart title. What this chart is about. How do you like this product? Like this. Okay. We can mention the chart. If it is related to mark list, we will write a mark list. If it is the employee's performance, then we will write employee's performance. Grid lines, as you can see, horizontal in a vertical wave also we can show. Plot area between the x and y axis, that is the plot area where exactly the plot, graph is or chart is plotted. Don't confuse it between this chart and graph. Okay, these are most of same thing. Chart area is the complete area where this complete chart, everything, okay, is mentioned. Plot area is inside the chart area. Okay, plot area is exactly where the chart is plotted, and plot area is exactly where the chart is plotted, and the chart area is the overall the chart where each and every part is inside this chart area. Okay, now there are different types of charts in the OpenOffice Calc: area chart, column chart, bar chart, line chart. These are different types of charts, right? So using these different charts, we can show the, there are some benefits of each and every chart. In some charts, we can show some values in a better way. For this marks list, some graphs are better. To show the performance, some other graph is better, some other chart is better. So these are based on whatever we want to represent, we choose the chart. Okay. So first of all, let us see how to create a chart. So select the cell that contains the source data for the chart. Suppose this is the source. I want the graph to make the graph of this. Okay. So first I will select the source. I have selected the source, the names and their sales. These are the salesperson and this their sales. This is record of their sales. So I will select this data source, and then what I will click on the chart icon in the standard toolbar. Okay. After clicking on this, I'll get this dialog box, chart wizard dialog box. Here I have to choose which kind of chart I want to create. Column chart, bar chart. So as per my requirement, suppose I want to choose the column chart, then I will let it be. I will leave it as it is, and then I will click on whatever chart as per my requirement. I will choose and then click on next option. And after that, it will go to the next wizard. Here data range I had already selected. If you want to change, then you can click on this box and you can again select the data range. From here you want your graph to be plotted, right? Then after that you can click on next. Then you will get again go to next wizard, and here you have to choose the range. Like legends that I told you that is for mathematics, yellow is for English, for different subjects. That legends If you want to name that legends, then from here we can mention, then we can click on next. And after that, if you want to give the chart title, you want to give the name to the x-axis, that is category axis, or the y-axis, right? You want to give some, in x-axis you have written the name of the students, so you can write the name of the students as the name of the x-axis. In the y-axis, if you want, you have shown the marks of the students, then there you can mention marks, right? So from here you can do all these things, and after that you can click on finish option. So this is the way you have to create the chart. Now let's see some charts, what are the advantage of different charts, right? So let's see first line chart. A line chart shows trend in data at equal intervals. Line charts are useful in depicting the change in a value over a period of time, like performance of the students, I told you, line or performance of the employees. Line graphs emphasize upon time flow and rate of change rather than amount of change. See, this is the data, right? Math, science, SST marks of different students. Now I will select this data to source and I will click on the graph, and in the same process I will follow, and such type of graph will be formed. See, so I have given blue as maths and red as science and yellow as SST. So these different students are there. So if I want to analyze, maths marks of Anisha, right? So like this, mathematics, what is the performance of the students in mathematics? So this is down falling, right? So, and what about mathematics? And what about this? So in this way, we can see the different marks of the students and all, right? The student name, marks. So line graph, this is the line graph. Okay. So if I want to see the Bhumika, Anisha's marks in mathematics and this science and this SST. So in which she secured maximum marks, SST, and then science, and then maths. So her maths is weak, right? She has not secured good marks in mathematics like this. And like this, we can analyze Dharmendra. Dharmendra scored, only nearly 50 marks in this science, right? So like this, we can easily analyze. Now let's see what is pie chart. A pie chart is a circular statistical graphic which is divided into slices to illustrate numerical proportion. In a pie chart, the arc length of each slice is proportional to the quantity it represents. As we are reading, and after that, when we see the image, it is more clear to us, right? So maybe some parts of this is not clear to you. A pie chart is a circular statistical graphic, okay, which is divided into slices to illustrate numerical problems. Okay, this is a normal thing. In a pie chart, the arc length of each slice is proportional to the quantity it represents. Oh, I'm not getting it properly. So let's see the image. Okay, we will have this data. We will select this source data and we will create a chart. Okay, as when you will see this, then you will automatically come to know, okay, this orange section is more occupied in this circle, and after that this pink section, right? So sales of the October month, it is showing the sales of the October month, and the orange is of covered the maximum portion. So Bhumika's sales is maximum in the October month. You can easily analyze. Then the pink portion, then after that Pooja, and then blue and green has not achieved that much. They have not their sales is not as good as like that of Bhumika and all. So what is the of whose color is green and blue? So from here we can see Anisha and Dharmendra. Their performance is not good, and Bhumika's performance is best. Like this we can see, right? Scatter chart. A scatter chart uses dot to represent values for two different numeric variables, right? The position of each dot on the horizontal and vertical axis indicates value for an individual data. It is why we call it a scatter chart. Dots are scattered in a graph. That's why. The position of each dot on the horizontal and vertical indicates value for the individual data point. Scatter charts are used to observe relationship between two variables, right? Like this, temperature and ice cream, right? What is the effect of temperature in the ice cream, right? That is the relation we want to find out. So when we create the chart for this, see this dotted points. This is scattered kind of chart. So as you can see, If it is more in a line, they are not too much scattered, but means you can analyze that it is more the, their relationship is very strong. It is more, really effective. One is independent data and another is what, dependent. So here you can see, if they are in a particular line, they are not too much scattered, but they have a, means it is depicting that they are, these two things are having a close relationship, right? If it is too much scattered, means it is not having that much strong relationship. Now next is bar chart. A bar graph illustrates comparison among individual items, right? Categories are organized vertically, values horizontally to focus on comparing values and to place them, less emphasis on time. Multiple comparisons are possible. Bar chart. Let's see how bar chart is represented. There is some data, math, science, SST marks. And when I will create a chart for this bar chart. So as in the starting, whatever example we had seen, that is a, column chart. This is a bar chart. This is a, bars are horizontal. So see, Pooja's science marks, right? Then Pooja's, in which subject Pooja secured maximum marks. So red line, red means science. She secured maximum marks in science. And who secured maximum marks in, SST? So yellow is maximum in case of Dharmendra. So Dharmendra secured maximum marks in, as compared to other students also. Maximum marks in all these 5 students, there is Dharmendra's. Right? Understood? Like this we can easily understand. Now next is area chart. An area chart represents the change in one or more quantities over time. Right? An area chart represents the change in one or more quantities over time. It is made by plotting a series of data over time, connecting those data points with line segment and then filling in the area between the line and the x-axis with color or shading. Let's see, these are the values, 2019, different months and their sales unit. See, you can easily analyze in January, what was the sales unit of any company? Means we are talking about some particular organization. Their sales are maximum in which month? In this July month. We can easily analyze from the graph, right? So this is the what? Area chart. We can make it in 3D also, right? That option is also available. Now next is column chart. Column chart, in the starting we had seen. A column chart represents, shows data changes over a period of time or illustrates comparison among items. Categories are organized horizontally, values vertically to emphasize variation over time. Let's see column chart C. These are the column charts, right? Sales of different persons. As you can see, in the y-axis values are written and in the x-axis names are written. So first quarter sales by salesperson, right? So this is depicting that particular information. So from the charts, you are not able to remember the particular what exactly for that graph. But when you will create it, when you will see for what purpose you can create which graph, then you will automatically come to know for what is the exact purposes of these graphs, right? And for your values, what kind of graph is more suitable, that you can analyze, that you can you will know only when you will create. The more you work, the more thing you will understand. Now donut chart. The donut chart is also a circular chart like that of the pie chart only. It represents value as percentage of the whole. Categories are represented by individual slices. So how it looks? So this is the donut chart. Donut charts are like this, right? And in outer, the different layers also we can make in this. So the donut charts looks like this. Now next is net chart. Net chart represents data values as connected points in form of a net. Net, it looks like a net, right? When we put the values, it looks like a net. Different radial for each row of data. Okay, see how it looks. Market risks, tech risk, delay, impact. So different, on the basis of different criteria, we can choose the values and we can make the net chart. So all these things are there in this chart. And in this chart also we have some common charts: line chart, bar graph, column chart. All these are the most common kind of charts, right? Pie chart, right? So functions and chart are the most best features of this spreadsheet software. We can represent the values using the charts and all. We can take the, if we are working in our offices, we can take the printout, we can analyze the things, what are the sales. So these are one of the most what we should say, useful software in any offices, in any organization, whatever kind of, whether it is an educational institute, whatever it may be a MNC. If you want to see the performance of the students, of the company, of the employee, whatever, it is very useful. If you are using the functions, you are using the charts, these are used most frequently used in day-to-day life. I hope you understood. So that's it for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.